morning to you. Let's go to the Weather Center to see what's on tap for us today.
Oh, it's been a long week. What's today, day 2? We've had some light rain pass overnight, so the dry weather for the time being is over. There's what passed, but if you look behind that, right now dry in downtown Portland, very few scattered showers currently off to the west. Futurecast does show that we have an ongoing chance of some scattered showers today, but we're not going to see much. Right now we're at 40 degrees. Here's your bus stop weather. So rain jacket, yes, about 40 out the door, 45 at lunchtime. 48 degrees and really a decent chance of dry weather at that time later this afternoon. That's your forecast.
Okay, we'll see you soon. Thank you. We begin this morning hearing from school nurses because some have some pretty big concerns over how the Portland School District is dealing with the current surge in COVID cases.
So they wrote an open letter that defended teachers, and the letter also pointed out how school nurses are also spread thin throughout the district right now. KGW's Catherine Cook has the story.
We're seeing case numbers that we did not see at all in the fall.
Jennifer McKinster is a school nurse at Grant High School. The COVID case numbers she's talking about are district-wide and involve students, parents, and teachers. For that reason, she and other nurses are criticizing this letter. PPS Human Resources sent it to all teachers last week, accusing some of them of misusing sick time. The district said, quote, "We are getting regular reports of educators being asked by colleagues to call in sick with the intention of causing the district to close schools." The teachers union condemned the email, saying this message from PPS is off base, demoralizing to all educators, and an insult to our profession.
And we wanted to support them because nurses see the reality of what's happening in the schools.
McKinster helped write this open letter signed by 36 nurses serving PPS students. It criticizes the district for saying school closures are happening because of staff shortages rather than citing the spread of COVID-19 as the reason. It says, quote, "Schools are short-staffed because so many educators are sick or quarantined or have families of their own to care for who are sick. Teachers should be supported rather than blamed." The letter also notes the district's shortage of school nurses. State law recommends one nurse per 750 students. Right now, there is one nurse per 1,253 students in Portland Public Schools.
They're having a hard time feeling like they can adequately do the job that they're being asked to do. And nurses are in the school because they love kids, and it's hard.
McKinster says conducting COVID testing is also an issue.
It's being promised, but we don't have staff to do testing or tracking of the tests. And we're also being asked to use tests that have been expired.
McKinster and the others who signed this letter hope things will improve and that people who are sick will heal. In the meantime, they're asking the district to stop assigning blame on anything but the virus itself. In an email to KGW, Portland Public Schools Chief of Staff Jonathan Garcia tells us the district is actively looking into incidents referenced in the email to teachers and can't share more detailed information at this time. He says their top priority now is working with staff and labor partners to ensure schools remain open. Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Well, after the MLK holiday on Monday, several local schools are going back to distance learning today. We have a list of school closures and other schedule changes related to COVID in an article posted to KGW.com. And if you text the word school to that number on the screen, 503-226-5088, we'll text you back with a link to that article.
Developing this morning, a shooting in Portland's Elliott neighborhood killed one person just before midnight. This happened at Northeast Ivy Street and MLK Boulevard. Portland police say they responded to a call and found a man dead. Detectives are trying to piece together what happened, and while they do that, Northeast Ivy is closed from MLK to Rodney Avenue. Martin Luther King Boulevard is also closed from Fremont to Fargo. No word yet on a suspect or the name of the person who died. We'll certainly update the situation as those details come in. Police are searching for an armed robber who held up 3 coffee shops in Clackamas County. We talked to the barista at Keller's Coffee in Malino. She asked that we don't share her name, but she told us she was working alone Saturday morning when a guy pulled up to the window and pointed a gun at her, asking her for all the money in the stand. She gave it to him, but she also managed to initiate the emergency SOS feature on her phone. That alerted police and some of her emergency contacts.
Suddenly, another car started to pull in, and I panicked, thinking either this guy is with him and I'm doomed, or there's a guardian angel watching over me. And it happened to be a regular who pulled in, and the other guy just drove away, the robber.
But the guy wasn't done. According to Oregon City Police, around 7:20 Saturday night, he robbed the Black Rock coffee stand on Malala Avenue. And then 30 minutes later, he robbed Dutch Bros on Main Street. Detectives say he was wearing a black motorcycle helmet with a big X on it, and the X was made out of white tape. You see it there in that photo. The guy was also wearing a black jacket, black pants, and black shoes. Anyone with information about these crimes should contact Oregon City Police.
Well, a collapsed home forced evacuations yesterday in a Bellevue, Washington neighborhood. 2 people and their dog managed to escape when their house just slid off its foundation. Look at this. They're okay. The homeowners, John and Barb, say they climbed through a hole in the side of the house to get out. John says a call from a neighbor woke him up, warning him about water flowing in his driveway. So he went outside, and that's when the collapse happened, and he rushed back.
It was like going up a mountain with a river running down the side of the boulders everywhere and rocks and trees. And I got up to the top of the cul-de-sac and I ran up and I'm screaming, Barb, Barb, and she was inside and she was screaming, and went through an opening in the house.
That is wild. 42 people in their neighborhood have now been forced to evacuate as well, just as a precaution. They don't know what caused the home to slide at this point other than all of the water, but a water main break was reported in the area, but it's too early to tell if that was the cause.
That is some crazy video. All right, this next story is about pyrosomes, also known as sea pickles. Brenda Braxton, did you tell me you've heard of these creatures known as sea squirts sometimes?
Yep, that's what they were called when I mean, the last time I thought about them.
All right, sea squirts, sea pickles, call them what you will. The Seaside Aquarium says they've received reports of hundreds of these creatures on the beach in Florence. The video we're showing you this morning is actually from 2017 when sea pickles or sea squirts covered the beach back then as well. They're usually rigid, bumpy, translucent tubes. About the size of a finger in most cases, but sometimes they can grow as much as 2 feet long. Sea pickles, usually found in tropical waters, but obviously it's not unheard of them to show up here along the Oregon coast. There you go, Rod. The latest on the sea pickles along the Oregon coast.
They do look like pickles, don't they?
Yes, like translucent tubes.
Sea pickles.
Sea squirts, say some.
That's the story I'm going to remember from our newscast this morning. All right, here we go. We have some moisture moving into the southern Oregon coast. We've had a little bit of light rain up where we are. Again, there's the band that when it came through is pretty widespread. So odds are you look outdoors and the pavement's wet this morning. The tail of today will be an ongoing chance of scattered light showers, not much total rain, and really a pretty decent day to be out and about. Winds are calm and they'll be light all day. Here we are at 8:30 this morning. Again, the light green color, just some scattered light showers. So, you know, that's the way today will be. Here we are at 7 tomorrow morning, same deal. But tomorrow afternoon, it's very possible as moisture continues to spill in that we get a shot of some widespread rain coming through. And then there's one weather system that brings us perhaps some heavier rain rates Thursday morning. You put it all together, today, tomorrow, and Thursday, maybe about 0.4 of an inch of total rainfall. Here's a look at where we are temperature-wise. As you look at the map, 28 in Bend and 37 in the Dalles. East of the Cascades today, it will be completely dry. We're 40 in Portland, 42 currently in Salem. Temperatures get up to about 50. This little weather system moving through today is enough to break the temperature inversion. And remember, the temperature inversion makes it difficult for the temperature to warm up. So we're going to break that cycle today. And even with clouds and some light showers, we should be warmer overall than we were yesterday. 48 today in Portland. 50 tomorrow. Again, the rain increasing in the PM hours. Early morning rain breaks and showers on Thursday. And then we're back to another stretch of dry weather through what would be a third dry weekend. Temperature inversions over the weekend will redevelop. That means if you didn't have sun last weekend, it may be tough to get it again. That's my forecast.
That's okay. Your timing is impeccable. A dry weekend? Are you kidding? Yes. Thank you, Rod. Hey, coming up, we're talking about going electric. A local farm is doing its part to become cleaner and self-sufficient. At 5:15, we'll take you there to see how it works. Plus, a little good news if you're trying to pay off a student loan. Some of that money may be forgiven. Coming up after the break, our Verify team explains which borrowers are eligible.